Thank you so much. First of all, it was a really a great concert. Actually, it was. I don't know what I was expecting. I had never seen him perform live, but the bass was heavy, and then sometimes I was almost in tears. So it was really great. How's the show for you guys?
It was amazing. I mean, for us, it's always good to come out of our country and perform in front of people and introduce our music and our culture. And the feedback that we got from the crowd was also good, so we felt good about it.
Crowd was also very great and very welcoming, and it was like such a good stage, so it was a lot of fun.
In a perfect world, it would be nice to talk about creativity and art and inspiration and things like that whenever you talk to artists and musicians. But of course, we have to acknowledge that what's happening in your country at the moment. And first of all, I want to extend my solidarity for whatever it's worth, of course. How does that? Do you guys feel like internationally you become like a spokespeople, whether you want it or not? Do you feel like it's a role of an artist? What do you feel about it?
It's very important to say that the Palestinian people has been shattered into geographical pieces since 1948 and then 67. But it's important to say that we are Palestinians who are living, who have the Israeli citizenship. So we are around 2 millions already.
Yeah.
Around 2 millions. And we have our own pain, but yet let's not forget that you still have Palestinians in the West Bank who are going through horrors as the colonialist settlements are getting bigger and bigger, biting from the lands. And of course, I'm not gonna say the biggest catastrophe in Palestine, but I think it's the biggest catastrophe in the modern history is what is happening now in Gaza. So it's very important to just so won't look like we arrived from bloody Gaza. We've never been in Gaza. We are not allowed to step into Gaza. That's how shattered the Palestinian cause is. So we are here to represent the Palestinian cause and of course to talk about Gaza. But I would love it to see Gazans be safe and getting out of Gaza and talk about Gaza way more better than this. So it's very important for me to say that.
Of course, that's very true, and it's fair to also acknowledge all these different things. So
yeah, it's hard in an interview to explain 76 years of not even 70 since 1917. The whole conspiracy planning, whatever you want to call it, happened. So it's very hard to explain the accurate resolutions of the Palestinian story.
so it's very complicated, and I think that there was an academic paper that I remember reading in university, and it started by saying that if you feel like you don't understand what's happening in Palestine, it might be because you have heard about it in media, and it seems that media is very, very difficult to
Don't believe the hype.
don't believe that for sure.
I think I just want to add to that I think it does come, like being an artist does come with a responsibility, like being a Palestinian artist comes with a responsibility to tell the story. Also referring to the media because of like the quote you just said. And I think it's a struggle with at least almost most Palestinian artists. There's always the question if like I'm a Palestinian first or I'm an artist first, or if I just want to make music for the sake of music. But I think it's very difficult to disconnect from the reality that we live in. And I think it does come with a responsibility whether you ask for it or not. And it's hard to disconnect from it. And I can tell personally, like I've been struggling years just trying to write lyrics that are not political or that are not اجتماعي, social. And I reached a point where I was writing a few songs that are not political, not social, not nothing, but then you get hit in the face with the reality. And then the genocide happened. And then you realize, like, and happening, yeah, of course. But it started, what I meant. And then you get hit with reality. And it's just, so I put all of the different songs aside because, like, you can't just release a love song or whatever in times like this. So yeah, it's very hard to disconnect him.
Absolutely. I feel like it's not supposed to be like that, but because the media, I have done journalistic work in my life, but I feel like that journalism and the media has really failed. Of course, there are great journalists who do good work, but on the whole, I feel like that a lot of the journalists in West have not really done very good job. So maybe it's for the art to stand up. It's not. It's not. Let's say it doesn't make up for it. That like maybe it becomes even more.
It is beyond. It is. Do you see the people walking behind you? It's there. Do you see the people walking behind you? The cab that drove. Do you see that woman with that? That's their fucking job. That's their responsibility. It's everyone's responsibility. I think after the horrors that the world have seen, for ever since we studied history, to come and say the media and the governments, no, people can be also evil. People can be evil by ignoring things. I mean, the same people who are studying about slavery and are shocked, and studying about the Holocaust and they are shocked, and studying about what happened to the Native Americans and they are shocked, and what happened to Armenians and they are shocked. They are acting like the same people who were quiet. And now, of course, let's not forget that there are evil financial people with power. That there's a system. It's not like there's. I'm not gonna say Illuminati on this bullshit, but there's a system. That's how the world works. But it's people's job to, for example, if there's a country and this country have ايش بيقولوا اقتصاد, economy, trade with a certain country that is committing genocide, then it's that cabin. Everyone's job is like, I'm not gonna fucking vote for you. It's because it's circles, it's small circles. In my circle, I'm not gonna vote for you. You fucking vote for me, and you put pressure on the government, and the government push, and this is how it happens. So I'm kind of tired of saying that it's from words like television, tele-live vision, the media. It's just halas. It's just we've been quoting that nice workplace. That's it. But I think it's everyone's fucking job to do something. And I know a lot of people are trying, and maybe I'm talking out of إحباط, frustration. But I think fucking squeeze your mayor. Squeeze. Show some muscles. That's the tool that I feel that I have left.
Absolutely. If you go back, if you go into the group, you've been together for quite a long time, and then of course, if Wikipedia is correct, you've also been as a part of this for 10 years, and the group has been existing for a lot longer. What was the origin story like? How did you ended up forming a rap group?
Yeah, that's the like. Back then we were kids. We are talking about 99. My perspective of the story is that I was a hip-hop fan. I was listening to hip-hop. I was writing my own lyrics back then. I think I was writing in English. And a guy from the same city dropped an album of rap in English. It's a small city, you know, and we are only 20, now we are 30,000 Arab Palestinians in my city. So it was very strange that there is someone who's loving the same music that I love and actually doing something about it and releasing an album. So I talked to him over the phone. He invited me to his release party of the album. The album was titled Stop Selling Drugs. And from there I met him and I met his brother Suhell. And together we started, just in their tiny room and broken microphone and those white microphones of the old PC. So we were downloading stealing instrumentals back then and just, dropping lyrics on these instrumentals. And and from there we decided like to release few songs. We went to a performance in Nazareth in the north, and we found out like there's 1,000 people singing our lyrics. So we thought, yeah, okay, maybe we can do something about that. Maybe we can build a career from it. And it's a process. It's not something like that happened instantly. I mean, from that story, from the beginning of '99 to 2000, our first album was released in 2006. So it was a process, and this is the way like demos for. At the beginning, it was me, Tamer, and Suhell. And on the way, I think 2012, Maysa Daw released a song called Min Inta.
No,
Like-
released, we released up 2016, I think. But you just released the...
2016 conjunction كله.
لا, 16 we released من in...
Why? I think it's 2000.
No, 15 or 16. No, 12 was you released Dabki on the Moon.
Oh yeah.
So and you just wanted someone to sing the choruses and the melodies and all of that in the like.
Idle days.
Yeah, and
And you got hooked.
then Maysa joined the group.
Yeah, I never since. Person.
So that's like the story. Quality short.
I've heard you, we were talking earlier on, make some of this other compilation for people or collaboration with artists from different countries. I've heard you guys in song Loki from UK is a song, and there's like collaborations. Is there such a thing as a Arab hip-hop or Arabic hip-hop? Is there like a community? I know they're very different areas and it's quite a vast area, and North Africa and the Gulf states and all of that, and there's very different realities there. Is there some kind of a community existed?
Yeah.
Spotify. First of all, there's a new generation who's kicking ass. But I think in our generation, the guy who keeps doing the collabos and keeping the roof, I think it's Big Hass. He's done a few. I think he's done something with you. And was it all Sham Levant? لا مش كلهم Sham Levant.
Who, the one that I was in?
Oh.
No, not everyone was Levant. No.
Oh, huh?
No.
Okay, and I had someone, and I think mine, he did something with me that was, I think, like four Levant MCs or 3 maybe. So I think he's the only one I call him the gatekeeper because he keeps,
He's the only one that also connecting like hip-hop artists from different parts of the Arabic world, because we are not that we are disconnected in a way. I mean, the Egyptian scene is the Egyptian scene, the Palestinian scene is the Palestinian scene. So to have someone that doing interviews with all of them, it's it's a great job.
And what Suhell is doing in Empire One as well. He's Suhell, the guy who left the guy who left, my brother from the same mother.
Yeah, I don't know him.
My brother from the same mother. Also, is as him running the Empire One. He also have North African Arab singers and Middle Eastern all in. So yeah,
He's now taking the title of global leader.
Yes, on the 5th of June
in London. So he's like
isn't from the outside.
he's changing the game for the Arabic.
والله عادي
I don't know.
انه بدي بيلبورد هلا
لا
بعرفش فكر
موجودة ما منتشر الاشي ده.
من جد؟
Yeah, في دعايات.
No?
Yeah.
شفتكاش. So there's an infrastructure where it's happening.
Yeah. And you mentioned Big Hass, and so he's a radio personality, radio DJ from Saudi Arabia. He's also the person who's connected. We are having this conversation largely because of him, because I'm also in contact. He is the connector for the things, and I was also in contact with him and said, how can I contact you? I saw you were coming to my town, and so on. So here we are sitting now, partially thanks to him also. So that's really great. How do you relate then? Like I said, there's a very different realities. Like what of the Gulf states, they're living completely different reality. If you make a song together, like I was talking to some guys from Kuwait some while ago, and their reality seemed obviously very different. Yeah. How does that come together? Just.
I don't think it does. I mean, we listen to them. Maybe they listen to us, but it's a very different, kind of vibe, and also subjects that we are talking about are very different. We are very different. But I also feel like in the Arab world there is a lot of they are not really informed about the Palestinians, about the struggle of the Palestinian, and how we were scattered in 1948. And in their view, sometimes we see ourselves as Palestinians, but as long as we're holding like Israeli passport, and because they are not well informed, they might say no to a feature, or they might, because they don't want any problems with I don't know, with their fans, with their government, whatever. But that's the tragedy of us Palestinians. So I hope they will educate themselves about the Palestinian issue, and they will be more open to features with not with them, but with Palestinians artists from the 48. Because it's important. We see ourselves as part of the Arabic culture. We are connected to it. This is who we are. We are also Palestinians, and we are also sick of explaining ourselves, not only to the Arabic world, but also to the Western world. It's all the time that we have to do explanation. And for someone who's oppressed and living under the boots of occupation, like in you say fuck it, I don't have to explain myself to anyone. And there is so many information out there that people can read and can know and can be more informed about Palestinians, about what happened, and about what's happening now. So yeah, that's how I feel about artists from the Arab world. But I love their music as well. I'm listening to them and important that. Yeah.
It's about to come out.
Oh yeah, some people. I think with this منك I have to add to that as well. It's because of our passport and because of our history and because of all of that, like not only for Palestinian 48s, but all of Palestinian, we are very disconnected physically from the rest of the world, which makes it a lot harder also for us to reach places. Like we are not allowed to go to almost any Arab country freely. Like we can go to Jordan, we can get a visa, which is hard to go to Egypt, but we cannot perform in the Arab world in general. And that also, like, it has a lot of, it adds a lot of the struggle to be able to reach other artists in the Arab world. And as well, because of the occupation and because of everything, and because we are a minority, and the people that actually listen to hip-hop in Palestine is a minority within a minority, within the 48, I mean the minority, it's also...
Especially 48.
48 is the Palestinians that hold the Israeli ID and Israeli passport. Yeah. So what was I saying? But I lost my point.
Mahmoud said that we are tired of explaining, and then you started.
Explaining back. Yeah, but yeah, and I was saying because not a lot of people in Palestine listen to hip hop, so that also makes it hard. Like if you compare it to like a rapper in Egypt, there's so many people there, and there's such a huge crowd for hip hop and alternative music. So like you can release a song and it instantly reaches thousands, and which makes it also kind of easier to connect with the other artists and to be able to reach more. When in Palestine, it's very hard to reach more and more people. So it also makes it harder to spread and to be more known. So I think, yeah, we're very separated, sadly, from the rest of the Arab world.
My respect to the Egyptian and other Arab scenes around the world, which I truly respect musically and artistically, but lyrically it's pop.
Yeah, and
It's not like the Levant. The Levant has, the Levant have the lyrics. The Levant have the fucking message. I think that if you're not from Syria, if you're not from Lebanon, فلسطين, Jordan, إيش في كمان حتى ابن طمال السودان. I think the other parts of the hip hop around the world is
It's very American. It's very
not even American. I'm going to be very specific, more Drakey, more even Drake. Like that's my opinion. Doesn't mean that I don't respect it, but I enjoy it as fast food. I enjoy it as fast food. Nothing that will carry on with me. I enjoy more music that can be both moving artistically, but also that will get you home to think. So
It's always more difficult to find, like, because it doesn't come from the mainstream sources or whatever. We are, of course, covering people from all around the world, and there are some really great, interesting, fascinating things. One of my favorite things that often I use as an example for this is like the indigenous Australian MCs. There's like a whole way when they are talking about their experiences and so on and so forth, and making music, for that, to raise awareness, but also just to encourage and inspire their people and what of other things that are happening. But let's talk about rap. Let's not. And I also I understand fully, because it's difficult when I don't want you to have to explain these things and live them over and over and over again. But and then it just somehow also feel like you have to acknowledge it, and then you feel like, do I ask it only to make myself think better, or somehow, I don't know. That let's talk about rap anyway. Who are the inspirations early days? Who were the artists that
it keeps changing. I'm gonna say that I started with Tupac, but then I started enjoying the East Coast, more of the Mobb Deep, more of the Biggie, more of the Black Star, Talib, or Talib's Black Star altogether, Talib's punchlines, Mostef's philosophy. I could have enjoyed even 50 Cent. He made me confident to sing, because he was melodizing the hooks, man.
yeah.
It's like, fuck, I don't have to be Cher or Madonna or Mariah Carey. It can be fucking 50 Cent and sing.
You would make the great Madonna Daw.
good boy.
I know. You're welcome.
Many men like a virgin. Sorry.
Yeah, great.
But then there was a pause, and also, of course, Eminem's syllables. Then there was a pause for me, and then suddenly a new breeze came with, for me, it was Lupe Fiasco. I think he's I think he's the best lyricist among hip hop. I've heard that the Genius website was made by two young men who wanted to explain Lupe's lyrics. I need to check it.
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah. So for me, it was, of course, Cole came, Kendrick came, but you keep changing. I can mention many names. I had DMX area. I had a Lauryn Hill area, the Fugees. We can never stop. I never had a Mesa area. Never enjoyed it. I'm having now Mesa area.
Good. No, I was waiting for you to say that.
So it's very hard. Hip hop is a new,
It keeps on changing.
it keeps on changing. I mean, I like to be updated the whole time. Of course, I enjoy Tupac songs and Biggie songs nowadays, but somehow I don't play a whole album.
Yeah.
It just
It's interesting to me, that what are the times when you talk to people in the English-speaking world and you kind of like, they are very much like, almost always saying like, oh, Biggie, more rather than Tupac. But then when you talk to the rest of the world, Tupac always comes. It's usually mentioned where I feel like maybe we who don't speak English first language felt the rawness of the emotion that Tupac had. He was a very complicated character, but still nevertheless very interesting. Do you feel like you were saying, okay, you're up to date with the music now? I'm kind of a middle-aged hip hop head, and I don't really find any.
I think Biggie was. I think Tupac had something that no one will have, and Tupac is number one for me. But I think Biggie was a bit more talented.
No, I think that's fair. I think that's a fair. I don't think that there's necessarily a right answer to that.
But I don't think anyone asked me. But both of them are majors. But I think Pac was more important for me as a Palestinian.
Yeah.
But I think Biggie was more important for me as an artist.
Yes.
That's my opinion.
Yes. We were being interviewing artists from the African continent, and we were talking to Loki, who's one of the people who you've been collaborating also with from London, and all of they were also saying it was interesting because everybody was saying Tupac, like it just name just kept coming up, and I just always wonder like what was it about, but he's like almost like the Bob Marley of rap, that when you go around the world you see his graffiti, his space.
He was the leader in a way. Like he wasn't just a rapper, like just an MC. He had an opinion. He had courage to speak, about the African Americans, speak about the Black Panthers, to touch politics, to touch social issues. That's what made him unique. That's why, I think also the rest of the world feel him more than they feel Biggie, for example. If you are a hip-hop head, yes, you will feel Biggie because like the flow, the wine scheme, it's more complicated.
But before we end, I just want to ask, what is your plan? Are you're touring a lot? Are you thinking about that? Are you working on your music? What kind of future are you having?
Actually, we are not working on music.
Trying to put up.
We should work on music. All involved in music solo.
Yeah.
But as a group, we tried and something is not clicking yet. So
Okay.
It will happen. We just need a bit.
yeah, something is not clicking yet.
I mean, it's hard also. We're giving it time. I mean, it's not, it is.
I'm not sure we are disciplined as a group.
Yeah.
Yeah, or we tried a few times in the studio, but somehow our solo projects are distracting us. Each one has his own. But we've been trying. Really.
Okay.
We're gonna do it
Yeah.
soon.
Usually it takes us
Yes.
6 years between each album. So
Sure.
last album was released in 2019, end of 2019, and then COVID happened. So the 2 years, 3 years of COVID, we don't consider that. We put it in the side.
We not consider also the 2 years of genocide.
So it's just a 1 year album. So still have time.
So 1 year album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thank you so much. Like I said, I enjoyed the concert tremendously, and it's really been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank
you. Pleasure to meet you.
Shukran.